Hey guys, peace be unto you. So if you've seen my previous video where I talked about prayer, this is a continuation of the same video, but I had to, like I said earlier in the video, break it down for better understanding and clearer understanding. I don't want to compile it too much. Okay, so in this episode I'll be talking about the power of prayer. For me, prayer is a device. I want to say that again. Prayer is a device. It's like when you have a phone, you know that if you put your SIM slot, your SIM in your SIM slot, you can reach out to anybody. Not just putting your SIM in your slot, right? You have to recharge your phone, you know, and then make the first step, which is by dialing the person's number to call the person, and the person on the other end receives the call, and then communication goes on. That's why I said it's a device. Without you putting the SIM in the slot, and without you recharging your phone, and without you making the effort to dial the number, without the person picking, there will be no communication. So that's what you need to understand. It's a step-by-step procedure for things to happen. Power of prayer is that prayer is a sword. It destroys, and is a tool. It connects, or can also say device that connects, right? So, but what I want you to understand here in a clearer picture is the fact that in spiritual warfare, prayer is a sword. That's why I talked about intention. When you pray in regards to your battles, fighting your battles, when you pray in that sense, at that point, your words, the words that you use, is the sword that you use in defeating the enemies. That's why it is very important, because the Bible also talks about the tongue. That's why you should be mindful what you say with your tongue, because your tongue is it's small, but it's very powerful. What you say can either make you or break you. That's the power of the tongue, and that's the power of intention as well. I had to write down a few things. Okay, how powerful is prayer? You might be asking me, how powerful is prayer? It is the key that unlocks mystery when being used correctly. So you need to understand that if I give you a home, that's an illustration I just got. If I give you a home and I tell you, okay, this is your home, take this home, do with it whatever you want, a well-built home, furnished home, and I do not give you the key, how do you intend to go in? Yeah, many people say, I will break in and go in. Yeah, you break in because you have the intention of, when I break in, I will fix it and then I'm in. But is that a legal way to go in when somebody is already giving you the power to own something? Do you have to break in to get into that thing, or do you have to walk in majestically as the rightful owner of that thing? So if you have to break in to take something, then it is not yours, because even the Bible says the devil cometh to kill, to steal, and to destroy. So when you go into any place when you're not needed, or when you're not permitted, you're stealing. When you take something that is not yours, you're stealing. So you need to understand that the power has been given to you, the key to break has been given to you, the key to destroy has been given to you, the key to make has been given to you. But how do you use that key? It is the way you use it that defines or determines where you'll be. So God has given you the key to open every door, to unlock every door with prayer, with words that comes out of your mouth. Which is why I say, don't say things when you're angry, because when you say things when you're angry, you say the things that you're not meant to say. That is where the devil uses, that is the tool the devil uses to get to you. So prayer is a key that unlocks mystery. That's how powerful prayer is. That is how powerful it is. How effective is prayer? It is very effective when it's a self-consultation, when it's a one-on-one connection, when it's a one-on-one communication with God. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's wrong for people to pray for you. It's okay for people to pray for you, but people cannot go deep into your soul to know what you need, or to know how to communicate with God, or to know the terms in which to communicate with God. If people pray for you, it's them joining their faith with yours, which is fine, because sometimes you need other people's faith to work for you. But the effectiveness of prayer is when you on your own put yourself in that space where you choose to communicate, have that one-on-one communication. You're soliciting for yourself, not others soliciting for you. That's how effective it is. Prayer is an engagement between the physical and the spiritual realm. You're engaging between the spiritual and the physical, because it is anything that you say here in the spirit, in the physical, when you pronounce it in the physical, it makes it in, it engages in the spiritual. And that's why whenever the enemy wants to attack, the enemy doesn't attack physical, the enemy attacks first spiritual. Because when your spiritual life is weak, that's where they dive in. They go in spiritually, in the sleep state, in the dream state, and they attack. When they can get you in that state, they know they can get you in the physical state. But when they cannot get you in the spiritual state, in the spirit state, in the spirit realm, they confront you in the physical state. So it's an engagement. Every time you pray, you're engaging your physical self and your spiritual self. You're engaging it into battle. You're getting ready to go into battle. That's engagement. You're engaging God and yourself. You're engaging the earthly realm and the spiritual realm. That's what it is when you pray. What occurs during prayer? First of all, let me say this. Prayer is an engagement between the physical and the spiritual realm. Prayer is a means of communication between the spiritual and the physical realm. So when you pray, you're engaging your body and your soul into battle. When you pray, you're engaging yourself and God into battle. So it's a very deep engagement. Your soul, your body, your spirit, your mind is being, in alignment with your thoughts, your intention with the divine. When you are in that praying room or praying phase, you need to understand that engagement is going on, communication is going on. You're being engaged with yourself and God, with your physical self and your spiritual self. There's an engagement happening. Your mind, your spirit, your soul, your body has to come to oneness with your thoughts, with your intention, with the divine. So every time you pray, you're engaging. Every time you pray, you're in communication. Every time you pray, you're not praying with your mind absent. You're not praying with your soul out. You're not praying with your spirit out. You're praying in oneness with your soul, your body, your mind, your spirit, in communication. So when your intention is being made in that phase of prayer, there is a transmutation of energy. There is a transmutation, how your prayers converts and goes from your own mouth to God's ears. That's the phase. When you say it with your mouth, it transmutes. And that's why when you pray, you don't just pray. Be in oneness. Your mind shouldn't be here and your head is there. You shouldn't be thinking about money and you're praying to God. But when it comes to prayer, you are in alignment with all that is. Your body, your soul, your spirit, everything is alignment with your mind, with your intention. And then when you say it with your words, it's like a trumpet. You know how when someone holds a trumpet and blows it, people hear? That's how it is when it comes to communication. That's what happens during prayer. When you say the words, it goes straight to the divine. And that's why the intention in which you pray is very much needed. You need to know why you're praying. The reason behind your praying, you're asking, should be intentional. So what happens during prayer is engagement. Connection happens, engagement happens, communication happens, transmutation happens, because your words now keeps it ascending to the higher realm. So when next you pray, don't just pray with your mind elsewhere, absent-minded. Pray with oneness. Inhale, exhale, meditate for some minutes, and then you start praying. Put your intention out. And let me tell you something, God doesn't respond to just the words that you say. God responds to your intention, and God responds fast with your intention than your words. So it's easier for you to say a thing and you don't get a reply, but it's easier for you to communicate with a clear intention even when you don't speak it out, but with the prayer or your request being granted. Loudness does not certify God's confirmation to your prayer. If you're loud, if you're praying out loud, does not mean until I pray loud, that's when God will hear me. When you do even silent prayers, God hear you. But first of all, your intentions towards your asking is very, very important. What does prayer do? So if you're not the type that pray often, or you don't see the reason why you need to pray, and you're asking, I don't see the reason why I need to pray, because of course, what does prayer do? Let me tell you, prayer solidifies your relationship with God. Prayer, you know how you're building a house, if you don't cement it, or is it plastering that they call it, you can't paint it. So that's what prayer does. It cements the relationship, it solidifies the relationship with God. When you pray, understand that you're not just praying, you're solidifying a relationship with God. You're making your intention known to God that, Lord, I am praying to you because I am solidifying this relationship. And that's why it's very important. After every prayer, you make mention of amen, so it is, confirm it. So that's what prayer does. That's the power of prayer. So that's what you need to know in regards to prayer. It's the power that prayer holds. And I hope that this message gives you deep rooted understanding and clarity in regards to how powerful prayer is. And if you've not been praying so well, I don't mean, please don't get me wrong, you pray, God understands you in the language that He understands you, right? But you also need to understand the power of intentional prayer, praying with intention. That's what I need you to understand. I'm not saying you've been praying the wrong way, but I'm saying when you're praying, pray with intention. So when next you pray, know that you're not just praying for praying's sake. You're praying with, understand that there is power in praying, okay? And make use of it. Make use of that, okay? So that's what I have to say in regards to this. Anyways, thank you for watching down to this point, okay? Thank you so much, and please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, and like the video if it helps, and share with somebody. You never know who you might be helping. Okay, till next time, divine blessings.